Okay, so a lot of people that might see this video might know me, might not know me, might have seen some of my videos, Trucker Don. I'll call this video No More Branches on the Olive Tree, but I'm looking for that olive branch. I put a disclaimer out there. I'm not suicidal. I'm not looking for free passes. I'm not looking for sympathy or pity party or any of that kind of stuff. But I want to explain my position and where I'm at, so if people know me, they can understand where I'm coming from and a lot of things that's going on in my life right now. I'll start off, I came from a small family. My family was big, but slowly got smaller as people died off. Down in a little town called Brooklyn, Georgia. I grew up with a single mom sometimes, but my mom was married several times, so I had several stepdads growing up. Some of them were okay, and some of them were not okay. But maybe some of that influenced my life. I don't know. I graduated high school, in 1998. I joined the Navy, and I was in the Navy all the way until this year when I retired, 27 years. I absolutely enjoyed my career. I had some challenges during my career. I've been married. I'm on a fourth marriage right now. I'm trying not to make a fifth one, or I'm trying not to end a fourth one, but that's a struggle for me. Give you some background. I am a disabled vet now. I struggle with PTSD, and I struggle with a codependent depressant, meaning I like to help people a lot, and I like people to need me, which is probably fed into all the struggles I've been in the last few years. I am now a truck driver. As you see, I'm driving right now. So I'm struggling to adapt to a new lifestyle, even though I enjoy trucking. I really do. It's just it's hard because I'm not home much, and I got a lot of stress at home right now. So I guess I'll tell you my problem. My problem right now is I'm drowning in debt. I'm using credit to pay credit. I'm trying to fix that, but it seems like every time I think I get ahead, something else, emergency happens, something that I gotta extend my money out or credit out, and I can never get ahead. I'm always drowning. It seems like I'm never going to get above the water on my debt. Also, I'm having some marriage struggles. My wife has some things that she needs to deal with. She's got some issues going on that she needs to deal with, and I don't know how to help her. I don't know how to do it right, and I think that's why I'm in the fix that I'm in right now with possible getting a divorce. I have a 4-year-old autistic child. He's wonderful. I love him to death. But it's rough. It's rough on my marriage. It's rough on me. It's rough on my wife. He's 24/7, care all the time, and it's probably going to be that way a long time. Everything's a struggle with him. I am struggling with that whole idea that I'm not in the Navy no more. So I stay away from Navy friends and stuff like that because I'm not in the Navy, and I tend to want to be in the Navy because I did it for so long. So I'm struggling with that. I'm definitely struggling with depression. I'm heavily depressed. I feel alone in this world. I feel, even though I talk to people, I feel like nobody really gets me. I feel like there's nobody there to hear what I really got to say. Like they have their opinion, and that's what they hear is their opinion, and they judge me right off the bat, and I don't want to be judged. So I very caring person. If anybody on here knows me, I'm a person. I want to try to help everybody. I want to do what I can to extend my gratitude and help. And when people help me, I always come back and pay back. Like I always want to give threefold. I just seem like no matter what I do, though, I get kicked in the nuts every time. I have not gotten a break in years. It seems like I can never find that fresh breath, fresh air. I'm constantly kicked down. And I think a lot of it's my fault. Like my first marriage, ended because I cheated on my first wife, and that was stupid of me. I had a good thing. I had a wife who took care of me, made me feel good. She was very good with finances. We always had money because she was really frugal and she knew how to manage that checkbook. I didn't even know how much money we had half the time, but I never struggled. And I messed that up. And then I had a second wife. She was really young, and that was kind of a rebound from my first wife, but she was young, and I took it on to be her daddy, basically. I took it on to make her mature and everything. She got pregnant. We got married. We had a son. God bless. I love my son. He's 18 years old now. And then I had a third marriage. That was a struggle. She had some addiction issues, and there was a big cultural difference between her and I. She grew up in Chicago. I grew up in Georgia. I didn't agree with half the stuff she said, and we just did not see eye to eye. I loved her two little girls to death, like they were my own. But we had to part ways because we fought. We fought all the time. And really she got pregnant, and she had a kid, and she had our son. He died, and his name was Bryson. I was still in the Navy. I was on deployment during that time. So I haven't ever recovered from that. It's a struggle not to cry anytime I mention it or talk about it or think about it. And then my fourth wife, she's from Venezuela. So we definitely got some cultural differences. We've had our son is 4 years old, and he's a joy of my life. She also has a son that's 22 years old, and he's been a joy in my life. He's became a pretty good friend of mine, and I've told him that by the end of this year I want to adopt him as my son. Even though he's 22 years old, I want to adopt him as my son, so he has the same rights as my biological children do. So if anything ever happens to me, so I'm all about helping people. I'm all about trying to extend that olive branch to everyone. I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. No matter if it causes me heartache and pain. If I financially obligate to something, I'm going to financially pay it, whether or not I have food on the table. I'll do without eating just to make sure other people are honored and other people are taken care of. And that's just the way I am. I don't know if that's the way because my mama raised me that way or not. I can talk all day about why I am where I am, but that's not going to help me. I love my wife, and a lot of my friends do not love my wife. They tell me that she's bad for me, all these things, because her and I have had these struggles. But at the end of the day, I love my wife. I love my kids, and all I want out of life is a family. That's all I want. I want a family to where, normal family, what you see on TV, what you see other families doing is I go to work, I come home, we eat dinner, we have game nights, we go out to movies, sometimes we go to parks, we do, family stuff, and I just want to have a normalcy, and I haven't had that in years, and it's killing me inside. And I think that's part of the struggle with me and my wife, is that she has never had that either, and I don't think she knows how to do that. And I think that she she takes it as I'm trying to control her when I'm trying to lead her towards a family, because that's what I want. I want a family, and I want a happy family and everything, and I don't think I'm ever going to get that. So I guess what I'm here to talk about is I'm asking for an olive branch. That olive branch of someone that can help me with a few things. And I can't afford a lot. I'm going to be honest. I can't afford a lot because I'm trying to pay off all the debt that I have. It's just astronomical. I need someone that can help me financially plan, make a budget, that actually sit down with me and go over my finances. Everything I have, there's no secrets. All credit cards, all bank accounts, how much money I actually bring in, because I actually do make really good money, but it just goes like that. It just goes. And I need somebody that can help me financially plan so I can get a future planned out for the rest of my life. I'm not getting younger. I'm already 46 years old. And then I'm looking for a counselor, or not even a counselor, a psychiatrist, psychologist, I don't know, someone who can sit down and talk to me, and gut check me and tell me, what I'm messed up on, and tell me how I can fix the problems I have. Because, yes, maybe my wife has issues, but I can't fix my wife. I can fix myself. I can fix myself how I deal with my wife. I can fix myself on how I deal with other people's problems. And I can fix myself on my emotions. I can't fix other people. So I'm looking for somebody that can actually give me solid advice. I've had many counselors and stuff. I've been playing the mental health game for a while. And the counselors I've had just are not good. They don't last long because they want to educate me on the way the mind works and mental health things. They want to just listen to me and say, man, the impression I get from them is they're saying in their head that, man, that sucks. And that's all I'm getting out of counselors and stuff. It's good for me because I'm able to open up and talk about all kinds of stuff, but I'm not getting any feedback, no real feedback from any counselors or any psychiatrists and stuff. And I need that. I need real professional help. And then, and if I can get one that speaks Spanish and is willing to do like marriage counseling, where they talk to me, they talk to my wife, and then they talk to us together, so they can get a full story, not my side of the story, not her side of the story, and they get a full story. They get both sides. They're able to deductive reasoning, and come up with real solutions for us, and give us homework and stuff. And that's what I'm missing. And then the other thing is, it kind of goes back to finances. With all the credit card debt and everything, I need to figure out how to pay it off. I need to figure out how to plan so I can one day own my own house and start planning for our future and have something to give to my kids when I pass away. And then, the other thing I need is just a friend. I don't really. I have friends. I have people I served with. I got people that check up on me on the phone, but I'm looking for a friend that lives near me. I live in Warner Robins, Georgia right now. I don't know how long I'll live there, but I'm just looking for a friend. Somebody that checks up on me and I check up on them, and I make sure things are all right. And we go out and play pool together or something. We go to football games together, that kind of stuff. I haven't had that. I haven't had any friends that have the same interests as me. That's really, a life coach is what I need. So the struggle is real. The struggle is real, but again, I'm not suicidal. My every day of my life that drives me is to get up and have a better day than yesterday. That's how I survive. That's how I do everything every day. Is I get out of my bed and I say to myself, I'm going to have a better day today than I did yesterday. It doesn't always happen that way, but that's my goals. That's what drives me every single day. And it's a struggle. It really is a struggle for me to have that better day. But you know what? That's still my goal every single day, is to have a better day than yesterday. I want want to get back into church, but I work every Sunday, so it's kind of hard for me to get there because I travel all the way to Virginia every Sunday, and then I come back and I deliver all over South Carolina and Georgia. So if there's any olive branches out there that can reach out and help me financially, help me mental health, help me with my marriage and stuff, please do. My wife speaks Spanish. She speaks English too, but she speaks better Spanish, and it would really help if somebody could befriend her, or somebody can help guide us between this cultural difference, so I can get my marriage fixed. My ultimate goal is to fix my marriage. I know all of my friends and family and stuff tell me, oh, leave her, do without her, she's no good for you. But that's not true. She is good for me. You know, we just need to find the balance between the two of us. And I don't want to put the blame on her, because there has to be something wrong with me. I can't keep a marriage. I can't keep anything down. You know, like I'm struggling myself. So there has to be something wrong with me too. You know, there might be her struggles or whatever. That's her struggles. But I have something wrong with me, and I need to fix it. And I don't know how to fix it, because all I'm getting is tons of bad advice. So again, if there's anybody out there that has really good advice, I don't want somebody to send me links to a psychologist. I don't want people to send me links to good financial advising bots or websites or rocket.com or anything like that. You know, I'm actually looking for real people that are professionals that can actually help me in these situations. You know, somebody that's stable in their life themselves, not somebody that's struggling in their life and they just want to hear what I got to say, there, so they can tell me all their issues and stuff either. So again, I really do care about people, and I really do value anything that anybody says to me. But that's what I'm looking for. So if there's anybody out there that thinks they can help me through these struggles, please do. Or forward my stuff to Dr. Phil or something. You know, like I don't know what to do anymore. I'm struggling. I work, you know, 5-6 days a week, and I day and night, and I want my family, but I can't, because my family is a struggle for me. I mean, I've been living in this 18-wheeler for almost 2 months. I finally got to go home this past weekend and actually have a full weekend with no drama or anything. And that was the first time in 2 months. So just give you an insight a little bit of how I'm struggling right now. So anyway, thank you for listening. If you did listen to the whole video, if you didn't, and you just fast forwarded to this end, you know, thanks again. Bye.